Slider? Correct slider. Hello, everyone. Hope you're all doing well, staying safe, and happy. Welcome to Just Doing What We're Doing. I'm completely off because it's been a long day. I almost cursed. So, hello, everybody. Welcome to another live episode of Just Doing What We Do. Join myself and my guy up here, Anthony, as we kind of catch up with each other on our lives, talk Mountain Dew, and about gaming, entertainment, and technology news that just kind of sticks out to us. If you want to join the conversation, feel free to like this video, subscribe to the channel, please, and make sure you leave a comment below for us because we like interacting with you a whole heck of a lot. How are you doing, Anthony?
Doing all right. It would be better if things in my life ran a little more smoothly, but it is what it is.
I feel that completely and totally. Yeah, it's been a week for me as well. I think, yeah, because we live streamed last week, and then I was like, yeah, I'll send you a document, and then my life has just been busy, so like I just didn't get the chance, and it's kind of been stressful at times, so I was just like, we're just gonna live stream and we're gonna wing it again tonight and see what happens, I suppose. And hopefully soon we'll be able to kind of solidify things in our lives a little bit more here and there, I'm sure, but nothing in life's ever perfect, I suppose.
True.
So yeah, let me
very true.
Talk.
So what's the big thing going on in your life right now?
Mostly it's just been students moving back, and that's been making life complicated at times. Because school's starting again, so like my son is getting ready to enter first grade, which is kind of
Wow.
like tomorrow's his first day, so that's it's a thing. Like it's still kind of mind blowing. It's like I have a kid that's in first grade. What the crap is my life?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's big.
So, and you got like that, students moving back, which has just made life busy. We like had a $5,000 day yesterday on a Wednesday in the middle of the week. So like life has just been really busy with school starting and students moving back. It's just been really busy and stressful. And, I guess I'm just going to kind of, since we're kind of on topic, I'm just going to kind of talk about topic 2 then, just like operating stuff, because obviously students have been back, and my boss and I had a conversation. Like basically the whole point is like, hey, you're paying like he may some pressure got put on him from an external source. I won't say who or what or how. To up my pay. So I got a $5 an hour rate raise. So like not perfect by a long shot yet. But like it's a lot better because I think I'm getting that in addition to like what I feel is probably not enough, but I would also do some of the social media work I do for free in some regards, just for the sake of portfolio, etc.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, so life's been kind of crazy with that. So we had a talk. So it was like, okay, like if you're going to pay me this much an hour, like I need to like not be driving so damn much. Like let me do other things that I'm good at, like let us start working on like 3, 6, 1 year out plans, like let's get our social media plans for 1 month, 2 month, 3 month, and then we can be, look, where are we shooting for 6 months, where are we all shooting for 1 year from now, like let me do what I do best. um
Yeah.
he's being dragged along by people. um so like it's an improvement, but not quite where I think it entirely should be. But I'm willing to admit that I'm grateful for the steps forward, right?
Yeah.
So, like, and part of that is I get to be put in charge of beer. So, like, after our stream is done tonight, I need to set up an online ordering for Iowa Beverage to make our next order of, like, barrels and cans and all that kind of stuff for the shop. So,
Thanks.
I'm going to charge an hour for that and do that after this.
There you go.
So, yeah. So, like, that's kind of been, yeah, it's just been busy with students moving back. Like, I about freaked out because I signed up for, get some of our stuff through Doll Distributing. And, like, I guess shout out Doll Distributing. I don't know. But, so, like, I ordered, like, last Friday, I ordered, like, 3 kegs from them because I was like, hey, I need to make sure that we get these kegs by this coming weekend because this coming weekend is 801 weekend.
Mm.
So it's going to be an absolute poop show all weekend, probably. I was like, I need to make sure we've got this beer because if we don't have it, that's just money going down the drain.
Yep.
So, like, I ordered it last Friday. I get signed up for, like, the online ordering system because, like, everything's through online. I can just order all the beer for the shop through an app now, and it's,
fancy.
Right? So, but when I was setting it up last night, I was looking at the orders, right? And part of the orders was, like, I looked at the one that I made last Friday, and it said canceled. And I just went, what? Like, I was so stressed from about 7:30, 6. When did I find that out? 6:30. Because I was watching my son play, like, a toy outside, making sure, he's safe and no one steals him. So, like, I'm outside and I'm looking at it and I just went, no. And I was freaking out, like I was, like, working on texting this person, and I hadn't hit send yet, mostly because I was also delivery driving, and, like, I just hadn't had the chance to, like, kind of hit the send button, but I had, like, this text being like, hey, while I signed up, I noticed that order I made was canceled, and I didn't get, like, any heads up or communication. Is there any chance we can still get that order, like, today or tomorrow, please? But I hadn't sent it, and I get back to the shop, and because unfortunately, like, it's just been so busy, we don't have the staff yet that I'm still doing, like, a little bit of delivery driving. But this last half of the week's actually been pretty good. Like, we've actually had other people come in and, like, do stuff so I can do other things. So yeah, improvements. But yeah, I get back to the shop and I'm like, okay, here's the dealio. I'm about to send this text. And he's like, oh, don't send that text. They just came and delivered those kegs. And I was like, what? And I go look at the app and it's like, it moved from canceled to delivered. And I was like, I don't know but it happened.
Okay.
Yeah. So, like,
interesting.
So, yeah. Yay, operating.
Wow. Fun.
Yeah. So, yeah. That's been work. How's your work, by the way? Do you have responsibilities like that make you want to go gray in 24 hours notice?
Not like that. Mine is more, and this hasn't happened for a while, and I think most of the problem is gone.
Well, that's good.
But we get saddled with uh, I don't want to call them deadlines. It's basically we have to get something done, something fixed by a certain time because somebody's sitting there waiting for us to have it done. And there was most of the problem is gone because a lot of it was certain people not communicating properly.
Yep.
Um, and I won't expound on what I mean by the problem is mostly gone. You can infer what that means.
Oh, we will.
Uh, but um, yeah, other than that, that's really the most stressful thing that I get.
Not communicating is the worst. Like, I want to reiterate, I appreciate the improvements that happened, but one of the our owners, like, it's I won't call it his fatal flaw, but it's one of his biggest flaws is that he forgets to communicate stuff kind of regularly. So, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Some of the people that I work with are not the best at not the worst at communicating, but not the best. Um, but I mean, it's improved a little bit, but there's still sometimes, or there was times where things just weren't communicated to us, and then we find out very last minute that oh, this customer is here waiting, and they're ready to go. It's like I don't know what to tell you.
Yep.
Shouldn't have told them to show up before you talked to me first.
I can't help you if you don't. Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. It was there was a whole thing, but other than that, I mean, I do have some other job news. I'm not gonna say much.
That's fine.
'Cause it's still in the what I'm gonna call the infant stages. But I am working on uh, another, essentially a business venture, uh, working on creating something official. Uh, so there will be. It's still in the infant stages. Still some things to iron out. So more details will come as those get finished. But um, I am working on something, and it is related to music and audio stuff.
Oh, wow.
So, so yeah, that is one big thing that I've been working on this last weekish, um, is getting some of those things lined up in order.
Very cool.
So, yeah,
Very, very
there will
cool.
be more details later as things happen.
I can't, obviously, I won't pry too much then because if you can't give details and it's still, things are still a bit fluid, then, we'll just let it be
Hmm.
fluid.
Yeah, I don't want to count my chickens before they hatch or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So I don't
Feel
want
that.
to jinx it.
We don't want to jinx it either. So, yeah. Well, that's good. I guess, let's just, I'm going to move us right into the hot takes. So, here's the dealio. Internet, you're about to hear some spicy takes. At least one spicy take from me. I'm going to open Anthony up to give his spicy takes. And I might even give other spicy takes because I feel like I have been, I'm not sure if I want to say putting the tinfoil hat on, but there's just things that you begin to watch happen in this world and you kind of go, huh? What?
Yep. Mhm.
And I'm not necessarily trying to get canceled, but I'm also not necessarily trying to not be dishonest by omission. And if something pisses me off enough, I'm going to talk about it. So, we're going to talk about hot takes. And I started last time. I want you to start.
You want me to start with a hot take?
Oh, I want you to start.
Oh, I got to come up with one then.
Okay, never mind. I guess
I mean,
have to start.
If we're talking about things happening in this,
Oh, let's go there. Let's go there.
you're treading dangerous waters.
I'm treading dangerous waters.
Um,
But we also have so few views, I'm not too worried.
I mean, this goes across the board, so it's really not specific to anybody. But our political theater right now is hot garbage
Oh, it's absolute trash. Dumpster
across
fire.
the board.
Yes. Yeah.
It doesn't matter what color you're rooting for. It's all trash.
And frankly, at this point, it just kind of feels like it's yeah, yep, nope. I'm 100% with you. And the poopy thing is that, let me figure out how to effectively word this. The poopy thing is that I'm in a position where I don't necessarily know how much I can say, because the blunt reality of the matter is that there are some elections that I just can't vote in at this point in time. So, I feel like it is out of respect for me to just be like, sometimes I kind of have to hold my mouth shut, because there's not a whole lot that I can necessarily do. However, I also feel that being dishonest by omission is a real thing, and that it's important to sometimes just be honest about where you are, where you're at, who you are, etc. Right?
Mm-hmm.
This is the first election that actually there's a part of me that's like, boy, we are absolutely having to be pushed to the extremes, because there's a part of me that's like, I don't want one side. I don't like either side too much, but I despise how one side is handling things to such an extreme that I'm like, you almost have to vote for the other side now, even though you despise that other person as well. And it's an absolute poop show, because when even your middle candidates are now being forced to try to get, at least by the news and rumors go, trying to get spots in cabinets by dropping and siding with this candidate. It's just burn the system is where I'm really kind of at.
Yeah. It's both sides have mishandled, and the tinfoil.
It's a generational thing. It's a generational thing. This is not.
It is a generation.
It isn't just our generation. It's not just the generation before. It is a multi-generational problem, is what I mean by that.
Yeah. Speaking of, it has amused me for the last 4 years how one side in particular really wanted to get rid of the old white man in office paradigm. And then they put an old white man in the office. Excuse me. It's just amusing. Not.
And then
both.
And then that side presumably more or less pulled a coup, just.
There is, oh my goodness, there's so much. I think even from what I heard, some people in that surrounding that circumstance even said the quiet part out loud and was like, "Yeah, it was a little sketchy what we did, but we did it anyways."
Yeah,
and it's like, cool. So
everyone's
much for democracy. Yeah. and I don't know what the nuances were. Um, I'm sure it could have been handled better. Um, and and I've been of the opinion of the last 4 years. Well, not the full 4 years, last couple, and I will explain myself. Um, it's become painfully obvious that uh, I'll just say that Biden has reached the end of his good years.
Mm-hmm.
He's not
And even his,
all there mentally.
oh God, I'm sorry. If you,
He's
he's gone. He's been
he's
gone for a while, frankly, in my
yeah,
opinion.
he's clearly got dementia, and honestly, that's not even the upsetting part. The upsetting part is that they still puppet him around. Like, let him be. Let him
Like,
have the rest of his life. Let him
like,
enjoy the rest of his life.
yeah,
Just
like he's,
just
yeah,
put. I mean, I've I've come to the point where it's like I don't even care anymore. Just give Kamala the rest of the presidency for the last of this term. Just give it to her. Just let's call it what it is,
yep,
and let the old man
die in
enjoy
peace.
the rest of his life. Like, this isn't Weekend at Bernie's. Like, let him go. Like,
Yes, like, and I don't. Here's
he's
the thing. I don't think is. Are they fooling anyone at this point? It's a genuine
no, they're
question.
not.
Like even like CNN and all this
I
kind of like even like the I won't say mainstream media because I truly hate that term. Um,
yeah,
but even the more major media outlets that have primarily been voices of the Democratic side, right? Um,
yeah,
even they like some of that veil has been like lifted. It's you just kind of sometimes you see it where they're like, we all know, like it's just like he's a puppet. He's a puppet. He's
yeah,
just there's a face, and it's everything everyone else doing behind the scenes, and like
yeah.
his dropping out was just um it encapsulates it all perfectly.
Yeah. Well, and I wonder, and I've read some things, and there was some talk that he didn't want to, which he's it's
He's not there. Like
with with any job, you get to a certain point, and I'll get to that point in whatever career field I pick. Like, you get to that point where you just can't do it anymore.
yep. You
Like,
have to have you sometimes have to be humble enough to say
you,
that I'm done. I had to stop.
if if you physically can't do it, if you mentally can't do it, you get to that point, and you have to let it go.
Yeah.
And it's not even like it has nothing to do with politics at this point. I
I
feel bad for him.
I feel bad
Like,
for him and like I'm just kind of like, "Hey, can we just like kind of start caring about like what's good for people and not just what's good for oh, I don't know, 1%?"
yeah, like, yeah, and they're not fooling anybody. Like, let him. We know that he's not the one running the show.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Yeah.
And so just let him be. Let him have his ice cream. Let him live in peace. And just
Yeah.
let's just
Let's move
take
on to the next
the
chapter of our lives.
yeah, call it what it is. Like, I don't even care. We got here. We'll deal with it. Figure it out. Like, just obviously someone else is running the show. Quit pretending and just let the poor guy be.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's painful to watch,
Like it's to the
but
point where like I've like I don't like I keep track of it because it's important. But like there's a part of me that's like I have to limit myself a day because if I don't, I just either get irrationally angry or I just get like point where I'm like, this we're just all boned. Okay, cool, moving on. You know.
yeah. Like, it started out funny, like, oh, he fumbled over his words, he screwed something up, he did this, he did that, he wandered off, and no one knows why. But now it's like, Eh, we're 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 flirting with the line between uh, being run by someone who shouldn't be running this, and
Yeah.
I don't know that I would call it torture, but they're definitely abusing. I would almost call it elder abuse.
Yeah,
That's what this
that's what I was
is.
thinking. Yeah, I was like, pretty sure elder
This is
abuse is what
elder
we're
abuse.
thinking of.
This is yeah, like do I would I be happy with I mean at this point it really doesn't matter. But would I have been entirely happy with them handing over
Control to Kamala.
the I mean,
I don't think it'd be that
it
much
is what
different.
no. I mean, it is what it is. Like and that's I mean, and that's supposed to be the beauty of democracy is that I mean the president only has so much power
Yeah.
and so pretending that he's I yeah,
Yeah.
it's elder abuse at this point.
Yeah.
Like let it
Yeah.
that's my hot take. That we need to stop abusing Biden and let him live in peace. Like
Yes. Please.
I don't care about his policies. I don't care about the things he's done in his past. Like let the poor guy go.
Yes.
Like
Yeah. And yeah. And like yeah, like we could. I don't want to get too deep into that political forest because there are some things I know and then there's some things I just don't know nearly as much about. And you know, if you don't know enough about something, let's try not to talk about too
yeah,
much. You know.
yeah. There is definitely some and there's yeah, the whole thing is a mess.
It's just a
Because I'm not
mess. I. It sucks. It just sucks.
I'm 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 not happy with either side. The whole thing, yeah. It's
So
just
we'll move on. I'll give my hot take. So my
yes,
hot
now that
take.
I've opened up the can of worms.
You've opened up a can of worms, and I'm about to really open them up. So today at work, we were having a discussion about racism in life, right? And I am of this what I will call like the South Park influenced generation, where my personal take on things is that make fun of everyone equally, treat everyone just as respectfully as you make fun of them. Like that's how this rolls. Respect a person, they are a
Yeah.
human being, they deserve to be treated nicely, they deserve to be treated well.
Mhm.
However, sometimes, and I'm confident every single one of us does this because I have talked to people across a diverse ethnicity, and most of the people I've all talked to all agree with this, in that every one of us has thoughts up in here that we don't externalize. And those thoughts that are up in here typically are racist, right? If you've ever heard the Avenue Q song, da 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 da, right? We all make sometimes we all make little micro, I don't want to say aggressions because I hate that term as well, but we make micro adjustments to our lives based off generalizations. It's not, doesn't mean that's always good, but sometimes you do that because there is a documented history of things.
Mhm.
And so we were talking about all this, and I'm like, I just think that sometimes we're all a little racist, and we just don't always do it, and we don't always act it out, we don't say it. And basically, that person said, or maybe it's the cross on your neck. I want to check something. Cool, I can do that. To this person, I would like to wholeheartedly say, with every fiber of my being, I appreciate you. However, that is way more intolerant than anything that came out of me. I fully believe in treating everyone equally and treating everyone with respect. My faith or an image of my faith does not make me racist. And if you think that makes me racist, that makes you more intolerant than me because, quite frankly, everyone deserves to be treated well. And that pissed me off, so to them I say, you. By the way, he can't tell, but I muted the output for a second.
I figured you did. I'll add to that. Like, that's absolutely like the fact that he makes the claim. The fact that he said that tells me that he's making the claim about himself that he's not racist because he he's assuming that that faith is inherently racist, which is not
Wrong.
as someone who was part of that faith. I can tell you is wrong. I would even even when I was at the point where I was very, very upfront about being not part of that faith anymore, I would never have said that. If he's making that claim, that's telling me that because he's not part of that group, and so he's making the assertion that he himself is not racist, which everyone is a little bit racist. And most of the time we assume that if I'm being racist, it's to only non-white people. I can be racist towards white people.
Mm-hmm.
It happens. It doesn't matter. Racism is
Not exclusive to any single race. Oh.
and you can be racist towards your own race. It's possible. And so he's disingenuous. He's either lying to you or he's lying to himself about, and it's a dangerous place to be, because now he's going to do those little things and not see himself doing those and assume that he's not doing those, but he's still doing those. And then when someone tries to call him out on that, he's going to be like, no, I'm perfect. I'm good.
Yep.
I'm not doing anything wrong. Screw you. And I mean, karma will get him and he'll have no friends and nobody will like him. You know, that's his problem, not mine.
Yeah.
But you're absolutely right. Like, we make assumptions, and a lot of stereotypes are based in truth. I mean, there are some white people stereotypes that are
So
dead
accurate.
on.
Pumpkin spice
And
latte
it's
stuff. Basic white girls. Like, I've
Yep.
been driving around town, and it's been rush week, too. Like, basic white girls everywhere.
If you're female, you look young, you're white, you're blonde, and you're carrying a pumpkin spice latte, I'm assuming a ton of stuff about you, and not very much of it is good.
I'll still happily
And you're
get to
white.
know you, but I will make those assumptions.
Yeah. I'll give you the chance to prove me wrong.
Yep.
But that's what you said. Like, you have those thoughts, and those thoughts are there, and it's whether or not you act on them. And I can act on them and be like, no, I'm not going to give you the time of day, get lost. Or I can be like, all right, I will give you the chance to prove me wrong. And in that scenario, it only takes 5 minutes of conversation for me to figure out whether or not I'm right or wrong. But
Yeah.
that's it. And that's, yeah, you can't assume. And then, I mean, yeah, him saying that, that's inherently him saying whatever his faith is or is not is better than yours. And
That's just as intolerant.
Yeah.
It's like,
You're just
intolerant.
you're different, because there's, even as faiths go, and I'll say this, some of the worst people I've met and some of the worst people I've known were Christians. Conversely, some of the best people I've met,
Yep.
also Christian.
And it's worth
Doesn't
noting
matter.
that I've met people of other faiths that are good and bad, you know? Like,
I mean, I've some of the best. I could pretty much any category you want to pick: religion, race, sexual orientation. Some of the best people I've known, and some of the worst people I've known, fall into both all of those categories together.
yep, we
It's
are,
almost like
we're
it
all
doesn't.
matter. We're just, it's kind of
Yeah,
as if being human comes with some fatal flaw.
yeah, and it's almost like it doesn't matter the color of your skin
Yeah.
or anything. It's almost like it's the person underneath. Because like I said, I've known some people who use religion, any religion, for their own personal gains and to oppress and subjugate others. And I've known people who use it as uh, a vehicle to help those in need
Yeah.
and give of themselves to those less fortunate.
Hmm.
It
Yep.
doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Yep.
It's like I won't say what I thought of first, but it's like a hammer. I can either use it to build a house or smash someone's skull in.
Yeah. It's true.
It's just a thing.
Just a thing.
So, so you can be a good person or a bad person, and you can wear whatever. And I know you can't choose your race. I almost said something that would have been of questionable comedy, and I won't say it. Um,
I think my brain was on a similar wavelength, and we'll save that for after when we're no longer live.
unless you're in the movie White Chicks,
Or Tropic
you
Thunder.
can't choose your or Tropic Thunder. It is amazing though. Like I've seen um, reviews of Tropic Thunder. I mean, he's acting,
Yeah.
and people who should be offended by it are like, he did a good job. I actually,
It's
oh,
one of my
I
favorite
actually,
movies.
I stumbled on a reel. So I went down a rabbit hole on YouTube, still on this topic, and I stumbled on a reel. It was Lil Wayne, and he was talking about a circumstance in his life that happened. And basically, at the end of it, is like, I don't know what racism is because his life was saved. I think he was at least a white person, and he might have been a cop,
Hmm.
but his life was saved by that person, while other people ignored him or walked past him.
Hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
so I'm in full agreement with you about this guy. Um, that he needs to reevaluate how he sees things.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
it's
That is one of like I am you have known me for a very long time. I am not a guy that really gets truly offended by things. Like again, it's that South Park thing. Like I remember being on campus when Tom Short was here, and there was a guy that came to mock Tom Short wearing a Jesus, like dressed up as Jesus. And I was like, I get why some of my friends are offended. I kind of find this a little funny. Like that's just who I am as a person. Like sometimes I can be simultaneously offended and laugh at it because I'm able to find humor in things. This genuinely offended me. Like I did have, like, it took me a second because I kind of needed to collect myself from not just like outright, I don't know, losing control. But I eventually came back, was like,
yeah,
just for reference, if you think an image of my faith makes me racist, that says more about you than it does me. And I
that's a
left it
fact.
at that because I was just not about it.
It's an absolute fact. I agree with. And yeah, as someone who has differing opinions from you in many areas of life, I would agree with that, and I would expect myself to be held to the same standard.
100%. Yeah, yeah, yep. So, on that note, we're going to transition ever so slightly. I'm keeping it technically within the same topic, but last week I talked about how I am trying, where basically I was like, I need to take a break from alcohol because I can tell I'm gaining a dependence on it, right? This week has been overall good, not perfect. Um, just gonna be blunt with y'all, internet. I've got nothing to hide at this point in life. Frankly, if you really wanted to screw with my life too much, you could just do a Google search and easy peasy, right? So here's the facts of the matter. I ended up buying beer on Monday and Tuesday. Why? Because they were super stressful days, and well, frankly, on Monday I had opened a fresh Benjamin, and somewhere during the day, in the last hour, it completely fell out of my pocket. No clue where it went. Got completely lost, and I was down to the dregs of my last three Benjamins. Like I've been getting the harshest of the harshests for the past few days. Like, not fun. So I ended up having to. So I had to order. I had to make an order of Benjamins to arrive, which they arrived today. So I'm grateful for that. So Monday and Tuesday were not my greatest days because I just was like, I just want beer. It's not been a great day. I lost on Monday. I used the excuse of losing the Benjamin, and then on Tuesday it was just like, I don't have Dez, and so
Yeah.
bluntly, I went through a 6-pack each night of like Imperial IPAs. So like the highest of the ABVs before they have to become registered as something else technically, like 9.9%. So like, I'm not proud of myself, but at the same time, I also haven't had anything since Tuesday. So like, we're improved.
It's what happens. And I mean, it's good you recognize that's the important part is that you recognize that, and you're not going to beat yourself up over like, oh no, I failed, I might as well just
Yeah, no, screw that. Like,
fall down this like, no. Like, it happens.
it's not an excuse to continue falling, so to speak, but at the same time, like, I just got to keep my. The thing is it's like, as long as I'm continuing to be relatively self-aware about it, right? And I'm willing to be humble about it as well, is another important part, right? Is that like, okay, didn't have a good week, but that's okay. And and I'm generally going to be trying not to drink, but I can tell you every once in a while I might just have a beer because it's football season. But I'm also going to tell you I'm going to be honest about it at this point because like, I might as well talk about it. Like, I'm in my mid-30s, internet. Like, I'm old. Like, I don't even get ID'd when I buy it anymore. Like, it's like this is just where I'm at. I might as well just talk about it as openly as I talk about other stuff. And if me going, hey, sometimes I have a dependence and I'm trying not to be dependent on it, but I can still enjoy a drink every once in a while, if that can help someone out there, I'm all for it.
Yeah. Well, and dependency can
Different.
come in many shapes and sizes.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, and that's the struggle is you give up one dependency and you have to keep yourself from just replacing it with something else.
Yep.
Because that's easy to do. Oh, I'm not going to do this anymore. Well, I need something else to give me the dopamine rush or the release or whatever it is.
Whatever it is that it gives you, right? Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and yeah, the really the end goal is to be better than you were the day before. And sometimes you stumble. It happens. And I keep thinking of that scene in Batman Batman Begins, where Alfred's like, "Why do we
We
fall,
fall.
Bruce?"
Michael Caine. That was a meme this week
But
too.
was it really?
Yes. At least it briefly made a return on Twitter. I saw it, so like you know.
My feeds are still flooded with Gambit.
Ah,
That's all I see.
woo! I'm about making him myself here. Uh, speaking of which, I went and saw Deadpool and Wolverine again on Sunday, and God, that movie's just so. It
It's so
needs to
good.
come out
I've
on
heard,
digital.
right? I've heard his Cajun was like at least 95% accurate, which doesn't make me like it anymore, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. And I saw there's a meme. It's like it just proof that we need the Gambit movie to actually happen. I'm like, yes, yes. Gambit has been my favorite X-Men since forever. He was the first one I loved before Wolverine. So like, if they made a Gambit movie, I'd go to a midnight showing for it probably.
All right, let's I'll accept Channing Tatum as Gambit in the Gambit movie if they bring back his love interest and they bring back Anna Paquin as Rogue. That's all I want.
I'm down. I think she has to be down for it, but I'm down.
Yeah, obviously.
Oh man, I just that the X-Men, X-Men was so great. Deadpool and Wolverine was just so much fun. And what was great, so I was sitting next to a couple, and the couple on my right. I guess I was sitting next to two couples because that's what happened. Anyway,
Yeah, I've got the movies by myself. No shame.
I don't care. I was there purely because I was like, I just need to see Deadpool and Wolverine again. Like, I'm tired of like just watching like the intro every once in a while when it pops up on Twitter, just because like it's
Yep.
one of the all-time great. Like, it beats out Deadpool 1's intro by leaps
Oh,
and bounds, and Deadpool 1's intro was phenomenal.
they just got better.
Yeah. So this couple was sitting next to me. She clearly hadn't seen this movie before. Like, she was also clearly a geek, but she hadn't seen this movie before. So
Ooh, even better.
it was so great because when Chris Evans shows up, she's like, she was like so excited, and then she heard like, he's gonna say Avengers, and then flame on. She and her boyfriend laughed. So credit to them because they had a good laugh at it. But then when he got his skin snapped off, got a whole nother gasp, and it was just glorious. Just like I
Every
and
I did. I saw that. I saw that in a meme today in a reel, and I paid extra close attention to. I think it's Psylocke standing behind him, and she's just like, I don't even know what to do with this.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even the first time I saw the movie. You don't look at any. You saw that, and that's what you're focused on. But you start watching all the other things,
Yep.
and it's like that was just.
It was insane.
I didn't get.
And then when Wolverine put the cowl on at the end, like she like also did like this giddy sound of joy. And I was just like, not gonna lie, she was a looker. And and I was like, there's a part of me like, you're a lucky boyfriend. But like it was just, but just like, oh, that movie is just so good. And
it really is.
I just, every time I laugh, and listen, this isn't going to be family friendly, so I apologize because I'm quoting Deadpool here, but when he puts when Wolverine puts the cowl on, what's the wind resistance on those blowjob handles? Sorry, I get catty when I'm just like, oh, it's just, mwah.
I mean, that movie is not family friendly. There are so many things.
No, There's nothing about that movie that is family friendly. Which
I
I'm, I'm frankly, I'm a
one of
little
my favorites.
go.
Oh, one of my favorites is when in the opening scene when he releases the claws and he just like looks like he full on finishes like, and then he says it. He's like, "Oh my, oh my
Yeah,
goodness!"
I'm wet right now.
And
Yep.
that's what Deadpool's O face looks like.
Yeah, that man, I there is not a single moment from that movie that is not like just it's just wonderful. And the best part about getting to see it this time is I didn't have to go to the bathroom for the credits. Cuz when
Yeah,
you and I saw it, I had been holding pee since they first entered like the subway station, and he's like, "We're getting close to the end." I'm like, I was like going like, "Good, hurry, please." So it was super fun getting to see all that like behind the scenes stuff. Like that was,
yeah, that was
the way, and every reviewer has said this, so I'm just gonna quote them. It was just a love letter to the old Fox franchises.
really was.
Um,
And there were some good. There were some. Honestly, it's a good chunk of the foundation of what we have in superhero
Even
movies.
in the MCU, that's where Kevin Feige got his. That's where Kevin Feige got his start. That's where Avi Arad started before they all moved to like Marvel Studio stuff. They were at Fox doing the X-Men movies. You know,
And the X-Men movies are not
the original
for their
three,
time. They were. I enjoyed them.
they were they were amazing. They're some of my favorite
The
movies.
third one.
Third one was
The third one ends a little.
third one
We
wasn't
won't say that.
great, but I still enjoyed them. Right, I distinctly remember because the third one came out when my dad had been laid off, so like I was big into the privateering. So I had a torrented cam rip of X3 that I watched at home because I couldn't go to the theater to watch it. So like, yeah, it wasn't great, but like there is that we haven't talked about it for a long time, but there's that nostalgic tick, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So like X3 wasn't great, but I still love it. And the original X-Men was amazing. X2 was great.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
and then you kind of got the other you got the X-Men Origins Wolverine, which was what it was. I enjoyed it at the time, but it hasn't
Yeah,
aged well.
no, and there were some decisions that they made that
Like
even at the time I was like, this is blasphemy.
Deadpool does
And
not have his mouth sewn shut.
Ryan Reynolds has made it very clear that we all agree that that was just blasphemous, that should not have happened.
Yep.
And even even the secret ending where like his mouth is open and he speaks, like
Yep.
it's still not who Deadpool is.
Yeah.
Deadpool is exactly what these sort of movies have been.
Mm-hmm. 100%. Yeah. So like, yeah, there is a small part of me that really does want to privateer Deadpool and Wolverine because I just want to watch it like every night, and I can't afford to go to the theater every night. So
Hold on a little longer.
I'm holding out.
It'll come to you.
Dear Papa Ryan, release Deadpool and Wolverine on digital soon, please.
What is
Papa Reynolds.
Oh, yeah. Papa.
Papa Reynolds, please.
Speaking of superhero movies, I recently watched The Suicide Squad, and I actually quite enjoyed it.
That's the James Gunn one, right? Or,
Maybe it's the second one with Idris Elba.
okay, let me look this up. IMDb.
It's the one with. It's got what's his face? The guy nobody can see. That should get old. Oh, what's his character's name?
Peacemaker. Yeah, James Gunn.
I don't, Peacemaker.
Yeah, because he got his own
Peacemaker.
TV show after that movie because like people loved it.
Oh, was the TV show after? Okay,
Yeah,
I forgot which. That's how much I pay attention to the DC
the
universe.
DC.
I
Yeah.
will say, of all the things that happened in that movie, the most disturbing thing is at the end when a character you thought was dead gets up, and I'm pretty sure it's James Gunn doing the character,
Okay.
doing the mocap for the
Okay.
character, and it's it's not like scary, it's just weirdly disturbing, like cryptid level of disturbing,
Ooh, interesting. Huh.
and
I
it's
I might have to.
the character is lethal.
Okay. Well,
It's just the shape of him and the way he runs, and it's like that's gonna haunt me forever.
so here's some trivia
But the
then.
movie, I actually
Oh, go, 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 go,
go
go,
ahead.
go, go. No, you go.
Nope, go
You
ahead.
finish your thought.
I was just gonna say, I quite enjoyed it.
I it's one of those movies that I kind of have been curious. Like if it's, if it, because it's DC, so it's probably on. So that's going to be probably Max, which I think I have
Yeah, I
access
think
to
that's
Max
where I
through
would
someone, but I don't think I'm logged in at all. So like, this is one of those movies that I would probably like to watch at some point, just because I enjoy James Gunn. Like the Guardians of the Galaxy movies were all like, actually I haven't seen the third one yet, but 1 and 2 were great.
I haven't seen the third one yet either.
Third one came out when Marvel was pushing way too much TV show, and I just like I can't. And the movie, unfortunately, they had hit a few misses in a row. Like I've heard that 3 is actually very good, but like I just haven't seen it yet, and I probably might change that this weekend. But I make no promises. But nonetheless, some trivia. So, so in the Guardians movies, Rocket, his mocap is done by Sean Gunn, which is James Gunn's brother, and Sean Gunn is Weasel.
Okay, yeah,
So
yeah,
there you go. There's some trivia.
yeah. The the way it's such a throwaway moment and a throwaway character, but it's that it reminded me a lot of the old like creepy, just weird Flash videos that we grew up on.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Like some, yeah, I like to be, I like a good creep from here and there, here and there. So
Yeah,
I'm waiting with bated breath for Silent Hill 2 on PS5. Like I need that. I don't know how much I'll be able to play it because I'm a scaredy boy. Then video games make themselves so real in my mind. It's actually not great, but it is what it is. It's why I have
yeah.
to play like Alien Isolation in broad daylight on a handheld. Which I saw once again. I just want to point out the AI for the Xenomorph in Alien Isolation is absolutely incredible. Like I went down another I did a YouTube deep dive on its AI, and it's scary, man. Like at the end of the game, it has analyzed your movements so much that it just will do it baits
Really.
you. The alien will bait you at the end if you let it.
All right then.
So like it's once again Alien Isolation. Also, I have yet to see. I want to go see it because I've heard the new Alien movie, which I can't remember what its name is off the top of my head. But it just came out like last weekend. I've heard it's
The
go.
one that the trailer was at the beginning of that we
Yes,
saw.
Romulus. There we go. Yeah,
Okay.
that just came out last weekend. It's currently at a 7.4 on IMDb, which is pretty good for that. Like Deadpool and Wolverine's an 8. So like I've heard a lot of good things about Alien Romulus. And like one of the things was like the director clearly played Alien Isolation, and I'm like, you've got my attention here, because I love the Alien franchise. Like it has become is one of my favorite movie franchises. Just because I don't know why, but
Yeah. Eh, It's a good. There's something, and I mean I've read about a lot of the thought behind the design of the xenomorphs and the face huggers and all of that, and it's designed to mess
Geiger
with your head.
Geiger is an absolute. Listen, for
And
as much as
there's
I don't understand Tim Burton, I understand H.L. Geiger.
oh, speaking of Tim Burton, Beetlejuice 2. Ah, I came up
I
with that.
I know you're excited for that. I've never understood Tim Burton.
I, Tim Burton is you either like him or you don't. There is no he's okay. There's either you're either decorating your house with Tim Burton stuff or you're like I don't ever want to watch a single thing he makes. And
His stuff has been nightmare fuel for me all lifelong. Like I was talking about this during I think Forced Enjoyment last weekend. I was like, I just like listen. I know he loves Tim Burton. I heard you fangirling during the preview, and I'm just like, no, Tim Burton's just there's nothing about Tim Burton that I understand. It's just nope, just a hard pass. The only thing of
yep.
his that I liked was the Batman movie or movies, and that's really it.
And that was and that's not as Tim Burton-y as it could have been.
No.
I mean, the Penguin kind of was, but
kind of, but even
that's
then,
about as
yeah.
he was limited in what he could, how weird he could get with that.
Yes. Yeah, like I never got Edward Scissorhands, any of that kind of stuff. Like anything Tim Burton does, like every time I watch it, every time I see something by Tim Burton, there's just something that just, yeah.
And I'm a Tim Burton fangirl.
And I respect that. But like so I'm sure when Beetlejuice comes out, you'll be very excited and you can tell me all about it. But I will pass because like even watching that trailer again, I was just like, oh, like, it just makes me uncomfortable.
That's fair. That's fair. But I wouldn't mind. I would need to go back and watch through a lot of the Alien movies because I haven't watched a lot of those. But Romulus does look really good.
If you ever want to spend a extended period of time, just come on over sometime, and we can just watch through them in their canon timeline order.
Do you count? All right, as an Alien person, do you count Prometheus?
Yes.
Isn't that part of the?
To be fair, I some things sound like they maybe. I'm not going to say this too much. I kind of think that they may have retconned a little bit of it in Romulus, but I personally I like Prometheus and shit.
Because I heard a lot of really mixed reviews when that came out.
There were a lot of, if I remember right, I'm just going to look it up now. Alien Prometheus. Although it's just Prometheus. There we go. Because I think... Yes. So I liked Prometheus, and then after this was Alien Covenant, right? Yes. So I enjoyed them both. I'm sure there are people that are way more versed in the Alien lore than myself. That they probably have their stuff, they have their concerns, their issues. But I enjoyed like the idea of like a prequel trilogy. So, like there's a part of me that's low key wants that third because Ridley Scott's initial plan was to have Prometheus, Alien Covenant, into like a third unknown movie,
Mhm.
kind of leading into the original Alien trilogy or quadrology, as it were.
Okay.
Um, and then after the quadrology, you kind of had like the Aliens versus Predator movies, which were dumb action movies. I personally don't think they count as canon. I think some people kind of count them as canon still. Whatever. I won't. They're
Yeah.
fun movies, but I didn't. They weren't really scary movies. They were just meant to be action movies. Which
Yeah.
the Alien franchise has to be based in horror for it to work.
Yeah.
Which was one of my concerns when I initially saw some of the Romulus trailer. Was like, are they making the alien killable again? Because if we're making the alien killable again, then there's nothing to be afraid of, and that's what ruined like the Alien franchise post 4, if I remember correctly. Um, was just they made the alien was less intimidating, less like
Mhm.
it had to be more groups of aliens or something. You know, it was like, oh,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's like no, every good horror movie has a singular monster, either known or unknown, that wreaks havoc on your life.
Yeah.
And it's scarier if it's not known. Like, like by and large, the alien is in shadows most of the first movie. If I
Yeah.
remember correctly. At least very much. It's actually, frankly, it's what makes the game so nuts. Is because most of the time you're not necessarily seeing it. You're just listening to the alien.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
yeah. So I have so many thoughts on horror because I love horror. Um, Interesting. All right, I just saw one of the writers on Prometheus, and interesting. Okay. Uh, he's one of the main writers on the it's not Star Wars, Star Trek reboot,
Okay.
and he
And
also wrote a little bit of Lost. So, but yeah, so we just took a complete kind of sort of tangent, but that's okay because we're just doing what we do.
yeah.
And if you like doing what we do, make sure you like and subscribe to this channel. Like this video and subscribe to this channel, please. Because we want to keep talking with
Comment.
you guys. Comment, all that kind of good stuff. In fact, I forgot to mention this earlier. I'm going to say it now. We had a new subscriber this week. An Alex
Yeah.
Smith.
Yeah. I know who that is.
Okay. I'm sure that makes sense then.
He's the one. Well, I'll give him a shout out. He's the one that got me onto. Actually, I'm wearing this shirt from the concert. Ice
Okay.
Nine Kills.
Nice.
Um, yeah, that's another thing I did this last week was went to that concert, and that was a very good concert.
Very fun. Um, what I'm guessing based off the shirt that
And
we're looking at a
actually,
hard rock
they
band.
sing songs about they, yeah, hard rock, alternative metal, whatever you want to call that. And their songs are loosely based on horror movies, so you would probably enjoy them.
Interesting. I might have to give them a listen here at some point in the future after I get the sleep token out of my head because they're still living rent free. It's just
I
finding
mean,
different
they are good.
songs. Like this week, I've been listening to Euclid, or today really, I've been listening to Euclid a lot because it's a completely different like style for them. Like it's more of like a
Mhm.
rock anthem at times, and I'm just so good. Um, yeah, so I will definitely have to give Ice Nine Kills some listening time in the near future. Um,
Yeah.
I guess we're gonna do. So here, I've got a question for you to transition into a topic. What kind of snacks do you like
Yeah.
to eat?
Ooh. Um, I mean, my big go-to snack is Cheez-Its.
Fair.
I'm a sucker for Cheez-Its. I like this salty stuff. The greasy salty, the Ruffles, the Cheez-Its, the stuff like that. I like my salt.
I
It's
get
probably
that.
terrible for me.
I mean, some salt's good.
A
A
little bit
little
of salt is
bit,
good.
but
I like a
you like
lot
a
of
whole
salt.
lot of salt. I like mountains of salt.
If
Um,
I can't taste the salt anymore, I will resalt it.
I put salt and pepper on my corn, so like, yum. Like,
Yep.
butter up some sweet corn, salt and pepper it, and ha.
Mm, yep.
Um, so I'm there with you. Like I love like Cheez-Its have always been one of my favorite snacks. I typically, I like to keep something around to munch on because I am who I am. Um, Sometimes it's a donut, sometimes it's a granola bar. But I might talk about a different something else a little bit later that's kind of related to this. We may not. I don't know. Um, so I I I love almonds. Almonds are good. Almonds are yummy, yummy, yummy in my tummy, tummy, tummy. And they can come in all sorts of flavors, assorted flavors. You can get just regular almonds, no added flavor. They're good. They're yummy. They're fine. You can get smokehouse, you know, very good. I got a family size bag of that. You can also get honey roasted. I might try that in the future because Des isn't a big fan of the one I just talked about. Its name just kind of flew out of my brain. Smokehouse. And then there's another flavor that's, frankly, I love this flavor. And it's almonds that are flavored with wasabi and soy sauce. And as someone who loves some Asian food, like give me ramen, give me sushi, give me noodles of any sort, give me either an Americanized Chinese Asian dish or give me a real authentic Asian dish, and I'm a very, very happy boy. Like from tame to spicy, give me it all. But these wasabi and soy sauce almonds, I have to take a break from them. Because the first half of this week, every time when I got home, I had like 2 handfuls of wasabi and soy sauce almonds. So good in my mouth. Licked all the sauce off my fingers. Yum, yum. Feel the heat in my mouth. I love it. So yummy. And then sometime
How
around
did that turn out later?
7:30 the next morning,
Mhm.
my booty hole is on fire.
Yep.
And it really made working incredibly difficult because like there were times where you're
that.
just like, if I I kind of feel like I have to clench, but if I clench, all I feel is hot fire.
Yeah. That's why I tell people I like spicy foods. Spicy foods do not like me.
So I've got to figure out what's my magic number of wasabi and soy sauce almonds.
Probably not 2 handfuls.
Probably not.
Probably a few. Like maybe 1 handful spread out over the rest of the night.
So
I guess. I don't know.
I'm gonna figure that out maybe this weekend. It might be a trial by
Yeah.
fire. Might. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
But related to snacks and, well, there's just really no good way to transition. I saw a tweet today from Mountain Dew. The 4th of July flavors are going bye, bye, bye. Like, I think this week is like your last time to get them.
I mean, we knew it was coming.
We knew it was
Those weren't
coming.
gonna stick around forever.
It was gonna happen. It was inevitable, much like Thanos. But I'm still a little sad because I I kind of really liked all three of them. And like tonight,
They were
I'm
they
rocking
were
the
not bad.
voltage. But unfortunately, the Quick Star near me doesn't have the 50 flavors rolled into one, the Liberty Fusion, as it were. So I'm just sticking with a good old fashioned voltage.
Nothing wrong with that.
Well, to be fair, I
I
also
did
had a.
find out.
Oop, go.
I did find out that my favorite flavor that I wanted us to try was discontinued quite a while ago.
Oh no, what flavor?
That thrashed apple.
Oh, that one that you sent. Okay, the one that was like $50 or
It was
whatever.
no, that was a Korean one.
Okay. Okay. Right. Okay. Sad.
No, this was one that was stateside for a little while. It was replaced by the Purple Thunder.
Gotcha. Well, if you find a thrash apple and it's not overly expensive, I'm fine with that.
Oh, I've already found some. I have not bought them yet. The keyword being yet.
Yet.
Um, although now that I know that they're being cycled out soon, the 'cause that's another thing I do is I've been collecting the cans
Mm-hmm.
um, of each one that I've had. The Dollar General right next to me or right by me has 12 packs of all three of those, so I might have to go get some.
Yeah, you might have to.
And and maybe if you ask me nicely, I'll get you some too.
Well, we'll see. I want to check the local stores around here because we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Yeah, I bet. Literally, the only other topic I have is I've been playing a lot of Star Wars Jedi Survivor because once again I've got about a week to beat that game. So, because I'm not paying $20 for Game Pass.
Are you getting close to beating it?
I think so, but I honestly don't entirely know because it is to its credit, it is a very large game. Like it's got that Metroidvania style of exploration. Like you get a new ability, and then you can go back to areas you visited and get things like more force upgrades or life and that kind of stuff. So like I've been doing that a lot because it's just who I am and it's a fun game.
Yeah.
Like it's able to, I'm able, like I do that to kind of string me together between doing big bits of the story. But like I feel like the honest truth is I've unlocked like all the things that you can upgrade. I think like they've got so many different stances. Might be my favorite thing about this game is that you can choose your stance. Like you can have a blaster and a saber. You can have you can have like a dual bladed saber. You can do a wield a saber. They've got like a what they call a crossguard stance where like it's old like Lucas's old envisioning of a lightsaber where it was meant to be more like a heavy broadsword kind of feel.
Yeah.
So like you've got that and like it's a lot of like just the like you can and then you can level up your stances and that kind of stuff. So like I shouldn't say level up, but you can upgrade like get new moves, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So it's so much fun. Like I have been having an absolute ball with it. So like
Where
what?
Where does that fall in the Star Wars time?
It is so Jedi Survivor happens not too long. Well, it's post Order 66.
Yeah.
Because Jedi Survivor is like he's the last known Jedi that he knows of, and you discover a few more here and there because you know they all hide.
Yeah.
So it's post Order 66, You kind of see Vader ever so briefly in
Okay.
Survivor, but it's more not Survivor in Fallen Order. In Fallen Order, because Survivor Fallen Order is the first one. It's like basically post Order right, not relatively. It's after Order 66, and then Jedi Survivor's the second one, and there is going to be a third one.
Okay.
And I'm
Okay.
so like they're telling like the story of Cal Kestis basically, and like what his kind of story. So it's yeah, it's I don't. The only thing I can really give you for certain is that it's after Order 66.
Okay.
Because they haven't really. It's one of my favorite things about the game is that it has been very separate. Like it's part of the Star Wars universe, but it
Hmm.
doesn't feel connected to the Skywalker saga, which I
Yeah. Sure.
thoroughly enjoy because like
Yeah.
it's world building outside of the freaking movies, which they haven't been able to do for a decade plus. So,
Yeah.
so I've really enjoyed that. It's really funny because I keep getting these ads now for Star Wars Outlaws, which is coming out like in a week, basically. And I'm like, it's the first open world Star Wars game from Ubisoft. And I'm like, did we forget about these games? Like, I get these aren't open world like Grand Theft Auto, etc., or like Elden Ring,
Yeah.
for example, would be the easiest example, I suppose. But
Yeah.
I guess it's from Ubisoft. It's not like it's going to be Star Wars meets Far Cry. Although the reviews for it have been quite good thus far. Like they're saying it's a good narrative. So like I'm might have to sign up for Ubisoft Plus for a month.
We'll let it come out and see what everybody actually thinks of it.
That's also true. And frankly, I might just wait for because it's coming out on PS5 and all that kind of stuff. And it based off it's not a live. I don't believe it's a live service game. Like it's just an open world experience game.
Okay.
And if that's the case, like here's the dealio, I will feel bad for not buying it immediately because support developers, that kind of stuff. But it also means that it will eventually go on sale, and when it goes on sale on PS5, that will be a prime time to do it. But
Yeah.
frankly, I've got lots of other games to beat. Like I'm still finishing up Survivor, and after that, I still need to finish Intermission, and then after I finish Intermission, eventually I got to get to Rebirth, and I'm still working through Elden Ring. So
Hmm.
plenty of games to play. I will eventually get to
Oh yeah.
Outlaws, but it's definitely gonna wait. Um,
I
yeah.
feel that.
So like yeah, I will say this. I said this last week and I'll say it again this week. Like I will recommend Jedi Survivor and frankly Fallen Order, but Jedi Survivor's tighter. Like I loved
Okay.
Fallen Order, but yeah, Survivor is a lot tighter of a gameplay experience.
Gotcha. I should go through and play those. I've got so many games that I should play
I feel
that
that.
I need to play. It's just the list, and the list just keeps getting bigger.
It's yep, there's always something to consume, man. Like it's the same like with movies and TV shows, there's always something that someone thinks you should watch.
Yeah. I got to the point where I basically had to decide, all right, these are the franchises that absolutely when they come out, this is what we're doing.
Yep.
No questions asked. And everything else has to fall. Like when Metroid Prime 4 comes out, that's what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be
Mm-hmm.
my life until I beat it.
Mm-hmm.
Metroid, Zelda for the most part,
Yeah.
um, Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts has been the reason I've bought and purchased the next generation. Like, I didn't buy a PS4 until Kingdom Hearts 3 came out, and Kingdom Hearts 3 was the reason I bought a PS4.
You know,
Like, I just
yeah. Have I told you this before? You've probably you should know this already, but maybe you've forgotten it. It's okay. I have purchased the entire Kingdom Hearts franchise on Xbox and PS5, and I still have yet to beat it.
I have I've beaten it several times. I own several copies of all of the games because I bought the American version, and then the Japanese version came out, and they added a bunch of stuff.
Yep.
So I bought those, and I bought a way to get my PS2 to play them. And then they came out with
Remix,
an American version that had all that. Yeah. So I have.
Yeah.
And then I bought the PS4 remix versions of all of them. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That's where I'm at. But at least you've played them and beat them. Like, I have played one so close to completion at least once. Because there was the time when, I was staying at a friend's place and you came there. And I was playing through one, and you helped me get through a lot of that. And I never beat it that time through. You vaguely, that's fine.
Vaguely remember that.
Like, I recognized I was so close, but I lost that save file. And then I started again. I started it again on Xbox. No. I started it again on another PlayStation. And then... Like, I have been so close to beating one at least 3 times now, and I just have yet to actually complete it. And then after that, it's 2, and then 3, and then everything in between.
Oh, and there's so much more. Everything in between. I will say, the hardest one to play, honestly, is Chain Memories, because it's just very different from the rest of it.
That was the one that was on DS, if I remember right? No,
it was Game Boy Advance.
Yep,
and it was like the card style one.
Yeah,
which unfortunately has a very important chunk of the story that explains most of Kingdom Hearts 2, but very hard to play.
Yeah.
When they come out with Kingdom Hearts 4, I'll play through all of them again. And actually, I probably should with Metroid Prime 4 coming out. I should probably play through the Metroid Prime series again.
But actually, really, with the story of 4, it sounds to me like you might be better off playing Metroid Hunters again.
That's true. Metroid Prime Hunters is part of the Metroid
franchise.
Prime series.
Yeah, but this looks, based off the trailer that they last released, I don't know, was that a month or 2 ago, whatever, like, I didn't see Dark Samus at all, which makes me wonder if they retconned the whole return of Dark Samus. Because one of the initial big, like, reveals of 4 is, like, Dark Samus is still around.
Yeah, I don't know what they're getting, because, yeah, they've got Dark Samus, and then they brought one of the
bounty
other hunters from. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I'm excited though, like obviously.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and it's just hitting 7:59 right now. So wow, we almost nailed that one. Because I don't think I've got too much else to talk about. Do you, sir?
I do not.
Okay. Well, I just want to say publicly for everyone that we haven't got to chat a whole lot these past week, I suppose. It feels like we haven't really got to chat a whole lot like in the past 2 weeks. We've just kind of been having to live stressful, busy lives. Yeah. So, like, it's nice getting to catch up with you. I know I'm saying that to a camera, but I'm also saying that to my friend who is digitally across an undeterminate amount of miles for the sake. He is across the state for me, basically. So, like, I appreciate getting to talk with you, and I kind of feel bad for not messaging you. So but
life happens. I totally get it, because I get into those ruts too. Like, it's the joys of being an adult.
Send help.
I want a refund.
Yeah. I want a refund and tenfold. I was not prepared for this. But on that note, guys, we both really appreciate, as much as I appreciate talking to my best friend and putting it online, because I want to be a content creator so bad. But what's the fun part is hopefully we can do something with this channel. And I guess I've thought about something else we could talk about. Do you have any content updates?
Not at the moment.
Okay.
Those are still works in progress.
I get it.
Life is busy.
Life is busy. I get it. I still have yet to edit Emily is Away Less Than 3. I'm basically relying on live streams, but so, you know, like, this is what we got at the moment, but we're gonna, hopefully things will settle down a little bit and I'll be able to get back into a groove of things, but every time I start thinking I'm getting to a groove of things, life throws me a curveball, so, like, it's learning to deal with that. But one of the things I kind of want to talk about is, I think in the near future, I might be using this channel, because I think because ultimately this channel is about us always being able to catch up and put our interests out there, right? So, something that I am personally feeling a little bit, that I am personally feeling internal pressure, like just for myself, is to maybe start trying to take better care of my body. So there's a possibility that in the near future there's going to be kind of a very roughly shot, like no editing ever, more or less vlog of sorts of just me getting my lazy patukas out of bed or out of a chair and exercising and hopefully trying to get healthy, because listen,
good idea.
I'm in my mid-30s. I've got a kid that I'd like
old.
to see growing up. Like, I want to see him maybe get married someday, or, you know, I want to do stuff with him, go on vacations and kind of do that kind of stuff. And I don't feel like I'm super unhealthy, but I just feel the need to do better, make better choices and get more exercise for the sake of just being better. So that might be something we see in the near future here. I make no promises, but it's something that I'm feeling a little bit like this might be a good idea. So, if you guys would like to see something like that, and maybe I'm even going to get this turned into a short, maybe, that'd be something you guys would like to see, you know, leave us a comment, subscribe, please. Watch all of our stuff. We're going to have a wide range of crap on this channel in the near future, from Legos to gameplay to maybe a getting healthy vlog. Like, maybe there's going to be a little something for everyone. If you like something on the channel, please like that video so that we know it. Like this video so that we know you love us. And make sure you subscribe to the channel to get all sorts of content coming to your feeds, hopefully at some point in the near future. Please! And
throw some comments. Let us know.
Yep.
Tell us we're wrong. Tell us we're right. Maybe let us know of something you want to see.
Yeah. Maybe you disagree with a hot take that we had. You're allowed to disagree. We may not necessarily ever fully agree, but you never know either. We do appreciate the comments, though, and we appreciate all the kind of stuff. And I guess I commented below your other friend's stuff. Mr. Schuler commented 2 days ago on my last forced enjoyment from last week, going, "Where's Antoine?" So you've got someone that's very interested in seeing you, and hopefully you're okay with them wanting to see you more. So,
yeah.
I dawned on me. I was like, hopefully this guy's cool with Anthony. It's not like Anthony going, can you send him away, please?
No.
But if you like him, then we like him. If you like him, then I like him, because I'm a singular person. Nope.
That's good.
I'm not going there.
Good. The medication's working.
Might have to go get another lobotomy again just to make sure, but you know.
All right, Patricia.
Guys, on this ridiculous note, we once again want to thank you guys for watching. I appreciate talking to my friend. We appreciate talking to you guys. We appreciate any and every little view that you can give us for as many seconds or as minutes as you want to give us. So, yeah, just want to, I guess, end this with just being grateful and appreciating you guys, because I don't think I do that enough. So, yeah. So thank you again so very much for watching, guys. And I guess we're just going to go. We're going to go do what we do, and you do you. And we'll see you guys next time we upload a video or do a live stream. All right? Sound good? Goodbye!
Yeah, bye.